This time on Tenby 24/7, beach cleaner Ron bites off more than he can chew.
Somebody's lost a mosh bear set, see? I found them on the beach. If anybody's lost them, you know he's got them.
It's the summer spectacular, and PC Nigel Lewis is on patrol.
Earlier, some boys were up here and were chucking cans out, so we're keeping an eye on things here now.
And Hotelier Malcolm has a problem with his wedding reception.
Everything's set up and no cake.
This is 7 days in the life of one of Wales's holiday hotspots. 7 days with the people who work here to make the holidays a treat. This is Tenby 24/7. Hidden in southwest Wales is the seaside town of Tenby. A holiday resort with not just one, but 3 sandy beaches, and each one boasting a blue flag for quality. And keeping them in tip-top condition is essential.
This is because somebody had a party last night and they bagged all their stuff up, but they didn't take it with them. So they leave it on top of the bin, and then the seagulls come along and empty every bag. And then I have to come along and pick it all up.
For 18 years, Ron Jones has been keeping Tenby's beaches rubbish-free, and seagulls don't make his job any easier.
I like seagulls, no. Because of this, because they're turned into scavengers. Whereas they used to, I would imagine, fished in the sea, do a little dance, get worms, but they don't dance for this, they just rip it open. Like. But it just annoys me. So. I suppose everything's got to live. Well, the thing is, when it's all done and dusted, it'll look lovely and clean. And when they come down to have a look then, the beach will be nice and clean, nothing for them to moan about, and I'll get paid. Hopefully. My teacher said, Jones, you'll be nothing but a bin man. And what am I? I'm a bin man.
Are you happy, bin man?
Yeah. Right.
Ron must have the beaches picture postcard perfect
When the sun was shining in his hair.
before the bucket and spade brigade of holidaymakers hit the sand. Tenby and tourism hit the big time during the Georgian and Victorian eras, and that influence can be seen in many of the places to stay in the town. At the 3-star Gilter Hotel, owners Malcolm Brace and his business partner Pat Jenkins are preparing for a local celebration. Today, they are hosting a wedding reception for a Tenby couple.
Everything okay?
Malcolm and Pat are aiming to get an extra star for their hotel, and an important part of their plan is holding wedding functions.
Slowly beginning to come together. They've started doing the chair covers. It'll finish off with the bows at the end, and then you'll see the transformation. But to me, it has to be sort of laid to perfection. It has to look. So when you come through the door, when it's all finished, the bride in particular will say, wow. Oh, very good. Oh dear, the cake hasn't arrived yet. Well, they're supposed to be here at 11:30. Everything's set up and no cake. So we begin to get the jitters a little bit now. Hopefully now they will be here within the next quarter of an hour. Else if they're going to be any later, they'll be having a phone call. All right, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
This is the busiest week of the year in Tenby. Nearly 50,000 visitors will flock to this small seaside town. One of the holiday highlights for both visitors and locals is the summer spectacular in the town's harbour.
This is just all my list of jobs to do and make sure I've got the right stall to the right people. So when they come down, they've got what they want. So we'll just check. Morning, mate.
Local restaurateur Dave Douglas Law is the Tenby Round Table chairman and is in charge of this year's event.
We try to keep it as charity-based as possible. And this year it's been up to myself to actually rally around making sure everybody comes down with the right stalls, inviting the charity stalls down, sorting out all the entertainment, all the bands.
But there is one thing Dave can't organise: the Welsh weather, which could make his grand finale a washout.
Just hoping that the rain stays away. Because the fact, that's I think the biggest choice today will be, if it rains later on this evening, which is due to, whether or not the fireworks will go ahead or not. I mean, today all the locals have already asked me, is the fireworks, and a lot of people actually come down to Tenby. They book their holidays around these events, and it's the main slogan for advertising. All the posters got the big firework display. It says "Huge Spectacular Fireworks," and the worst thing is, if they set them up and it rains and we have to pull it, we still have to pay for it. So that's a big chunk of the money that we raised today that just goes on that.
Each day, around 50 bags of rubbish are removed from Tenby's beaches. And cleaner Ron hand-picks it all.
It's not nice when you're sitting on the beach and you got a big smelly fish next to you, like. No, not a very nice thing. I hate barbecues because they're dangerous. They got a serrated edge, really sharp, like a razor blade. If you catch yourself on that, that's a stitching job, so I always try and fold them up. In my opinion, they should never be allowed. So I'll put it, and I'll just hold it over. So there's no sharp edges. Here you can get tons of stuff coming. You can be knee deep in rubbish sometimes. Wooden bits of timber and odds and ends. False teeth, whatever. Like somebody's lost a mosh bear set, see? I found them on the beach. If anybody's lost them, you know where he's got them. But it's nice to see the beach like this empty and clean. There's emphasis to the word clean. It's nice. You don't want to come down and see rubbish everywhere.
Thanks to Ron, the 3 blue flag beaches are now clean and safe for the public to enjoy. Nearly 5,000 people are expected to descend on Tenby for today's Summer Spectacular. Police constables Nigel Lewis and Edith Thomas are on patrol.
Can I just ask if you know where you're going? Pardon? The Grey Hawk Hotel is there, but it's pedestrianised.
With a large crowd making their way down to the harbour, PC Lewis wants to make sure today's Summer Spectacular is safe for everyone to enjoy.
I'm monitoring the only small element, and it's a tiny element, of persons who may spoil things later, and that is the handful of boys that sit on the balcony up there, who last week unfortunately decided to throw some things down into the crowd, to the annoyance of the crowd. Well, we're going to watch that this week, and if they put a step out of place, then we will give them a direction to leave. But of course, it's a free country, and there's no requirement for us to move them now because they haven't done anything, and that would be heavy-handed policing, really.
Having a last-minute check on some of his sideshow attractions is Round Table Chairman Dave.
At the moment, just looking around, it's already a lot busier than, it's not even started really till the Samba Dock come down. You can hear them now. There's definitely them. So they'll bring a load in now. And this is what I wanted. Perfect. Earplugs.
Only £1, extra free. Come on, only £1, all for charity. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Tenby Harbour on this beautiful afternoon in Tenby, to Tenby Round Table Summer Spectacular 2011.
The wedding preparations are continuing. The bridal suite is ready, but Malcolm is still on the hunt for the missing wedding cake.
Good afternoon, it's Malcolm here at the Gilter Hotel in Tenby. I'm just checking up on the wedding cake for this afternoon. You did ring me yesterday to say you'd be here at 11:30. I'm now ringing, it's 2 o'clock, and we haven't seen the cake.
You right there for a minute, Tom?
Yeah, right.
We're stopping on them.
The pressure is also on in the hotel kitchen. Cooking up the wedding banquet is not going to be straightforward for 23-year-old head chef Phil Sellers.
Thomas, come on. I want to talk to you guys. Right. Today, as you know, we haven't got Paul or Griff.
Yes.
So what I want on service today, if Tommy, you work with me up the front on main courses doing what Paul would do. So if you put the roast potato, the gravy, roast parsnip on and send, and I'll be at the back here carving. Christian, I need you on the veg. And Masood, if you do the new potatoes, and then you can work with Christian on the back. So we need to all work together today because we're 2 men down. So just take our time, don't let the waiters rush us. If they have to wait a few minutes, they have to wait.
Yes.
I'm the youngest in the kitchen. But the brilliant thing is they've all accepted me because I've done a lot of change. They all know what they're doing and they know when they come in, they've got to do this, this and this. And if we're like today, 2 men down, they all pull together. So we never have no problems. Touch wood.
Can you manage? Do you want the door open?
One problem is solved, though. Malcolm's missing wedding cake.
Okay. Looks beautiful.
For over a quarter of a century, a horse and carriage has been showing tourists around the historic sites of Tenby town.
Walk on.
Steve Phillips has just bought this established business, and it's his first summer entertaining holidaymakers.
Well, Tenby dates back to the sort of 1200s. It was a very rich trading port then. There was a lot of goods traded in here from all over Europe. Do you know what the Welsh for Tenby is?
No.
Dinbych y Pysgod.
Oh, wow, God.
And that translates as the little fortress of the fishes.
Oh, wow. God, I thought the Indian language was hard, but this is the more difficult. Yeah.
Woo! Stand still, Ed. I stop here because it's the best view on the route. Yeah, this is the South Beach below us, which is Tenby's biggest beach. Now over here we've got Caldy Island. The Cistercian monks have a monastery on there.
So how do you get there?
You get a boat. There's 2 boats going out now. The boats go from Tenby Harbour every 20 minutes back and forth. So where's everyone come from today?
It's my dad's from Nairobi in Kenya, and he's on holiday here for about 4 weeks.
Good. Walk on. Every trip is different. You'll get families with kids and you'll angle it more towards the fun things for the children, but then you'll get maybe a group of adults and they'll be wanting to know more about the history and they'll be asking me questions rather than just listening to me, which is it's quite nice actually. It gets more like a conversation then, so it's more of a two-way thing.
You're a good boy, aren't you?
Don't go too close to Mr. Ed with that cake now, he'll have it. You better eat it quick.
The heavens have opened, but it's not dampening the spirits of the Irish dancers at the Summer Spectacular.
It's supposed to be 6 o'clock it's coming in, but it's arrived early, so if anything, that might benefit us, because if it's coming a couple of hours early, hopefully it'll finish when it's due to come in, if you know what I mean, and everything can go ahead with the fireworks as planned. But it's just a case of fingers crossed and see what happens. So it's the last thing I want to do is to pull the fireworks, but I'm just hoping that it does blow over for us.
With rock bands lined up for the evening event, local youngsters flock to the town. PC Nigel Lewis is patrolling Tenby railway station, and he spotted a potential problem.
My name's Ashley Ryan, I'm a fnutter!
You! Come here! Bring the car, bring the car. You're getting on that train, you're getting out of here. You've just blown your chances in this town, okay?
I ain't done nothing, though.
We saw you perform, you're having a direction to leave, you're out of town, okay?
What, messing about?
Yes, messing about. Because that's the way you'll be for the rest of the
No,
evening.
I
And you'll bring
swear to God.
problems to us. I don't want it.
Right, hang on a second.
Well, how old are you? How old are you?
16.
Right.
Right.
Cool, Ed.
Yeah,
Slow down. Have you been drinking before coming here?
I don't drink and take
Right.
crap, no.
You should accompany us, I think. You need to accompany us down to the police van, back to the police station, and let's get parents out.
news has arrived that the newly married bride and groom are on their way to the reception.
You've changed then?
Yes, I've changed now. Transformation.
Why is that?
Why is that? Oh, well, I just like to think you've got to dress for the part when you're doing a wedding.
Local Tenby school teacher Samantha and her new husband Darren have been planning their special day with Malcolm for the last few months.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Everything go well?
Yeah, fantastic.
Well done.
thank you.
All right? Oh, excellent. Come on then.
But will Malcolm's wedding room have the wow factor he is after?
It's absolutely stunning. No.
What do you think then?
Yeah, it's lovely. Absolutely stunning.
Want to have a look at your cake then?
She has done it really well. Isn't she?
The wedding is running to schedule, and head chef Phil is now under pressure to get food to the dining room on time.
Watch these collies under the grill, guys. Just getting ready now for the main courses, and I'll be hot carving the meat to order. So as they come in, they ask for one chicken, I hot carve it, and one beef as well. So I'll be carving as we go in.
Can I arrange for top table, please?
I have to shoot back round now.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you all to stand and to welcome the new bride and groom, Samantha and Darren.
On the South Beach, Ron has been called to a rather unusual job.
There's one there. There's one there. Right. I've left it a big one down, the one that's sticking out about that far down there.
Yeah. Mervyn Dennis, the beach warden, has discovered some old World War II ironwork, and he wants it removed.
So here we are, steel spikes sticking out the beach. You can imagine a little kid diving in or jumping in the sea and stubbing their toe, or we're still diving into it. So it's a case of either breaking them off or bending them over and dropping them back into the beach.
Some old railway tracks, they are.
Yeah, they're old railway tracks. That's another thing that we've got to be careful of, is we don't dig too big a holes, because the sand will be very soft and people will sink into the sand. So they think it's quicksand, but it's not. It's where we've been digging. The joys of being a beach warden, see, you can build sandcastles as big as you like. You can see why we do it, because you know, they can be very nasty. Although it was only about that much sticking out of the sand, you can see how deep they go into the sand. One more that won't show its ugly head again. Right in? Yeah, good. 1, 2, 3.
Pembrokeshire-born Steve Phillips only has the summer months to offer horse rides to the holidaymakers.
The church now, St Mary's, is the largest medieval parish church in Wales. It's open to the public, lovely inside, they keep it immaculate.
Hidden in the centre of town are the old Victorian stables where Steve keeps and cares for his Shire horses, Major Tom and Mr Ed.
Cleaning his feet out, which obviously we try and minimise the amount of muck we take out onto the street. Also gives us a chance to, you know, check the horse's feet and how his shoes are doing. Obviously the cobbles take it out of the shoes. As with any business that relies on the tourist trade, the summer is absolutely key for us. You know, the sort of second half of July and all of August is when the, you know, visitor numbers rocket in Tenby, and really you sort of stand or fall by how you do in that time. It's so established. I get people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I've been coming to Tenby since 1973, and it's always been there." Well, it it hasn't, but just, you know, it's been that well established that it's just part of Tenby. And a number of people that come up to me this year, and so I'm so glad you've taken it on. You wouldn't be Tenby without the horse.
Time for Mr Ed to hit the streets for the evening shift. It's also evening service for Summer Spectacular organiser Dave Douglas Law.
Service, please. I've got a wood pigeon.
He's having to juggle the event in the harbour whilst keeping his restaurant open for holidaymakers.
I think everybody in the town looks forward to these 6 weeks because that's what, you know, we've got 6 weeks to do a year's worth of trade, so it's a lot of pressure, but it's touching wood. It's going well this summer, so if I can keep it up, then it should make the winter easier.
Business may be Dave's priority, but so is the grand finale of the round table event.
You can see people standing at the top there, so that's a good sign. And now that the rain stopped, hopefully they'll hang about for the spectacular. So I'm hoping it's sounding good anyway.
Back down the harbour, PC's Lewis and Thomas are drinking in the atmosphere.
A large group dancing, always better for the band when there's a large audience, all smiling faces, going for it. I'm just keeping an eye on things here. Yeah. Earlier, some boys were up here and were chucking cans out, so we're keeping an eye on things here now. And of course, you've got your bin supplied. We've supplied the bin for you. Nice and easy. Good. Thank you.
Service is in full swing at the wedding reception. This is young chef Phil's 25th function this year at the hotel.
You need a veg for 6, so it's normal 6 days. When you see the dining room, it makes you proud to cook for them people. It's because you can see there's love gone into the dining room, so you want to make a little bit more effort within the kitchen.
That's good, okay? Say yes for me, okay?
Yes.
Everything's gone smoothly. That's the main thing, and both Samantha and Darren have enjoyed it. You can tell.
It's been fantastic.
It's been brilliant.
Yeah, we couldn't have asked for it to go better. It's been flawless. It's been perfect.
And for Phil the chef?
A bit fast, but it went well. A few little hiccups there, but it went well. Quick. The boys did really well, since we didn't have Paul and Griff here, the normal 2 chefs, but yeah, it went really, really well. I'm proud of them. They've done really, really well today.
At Tenby's refuse depot, Ron is about to unload all of today's pickings from the 3 beaches.
What are you doing tonight? I'm doing nothing. I'm going out when I go to sleep. Well, it's a lovely job. I mean, who wouldn't want my job? You don't feel like you're coming to work. I'm getting a bit tired now. I've had enough now, so I want to finish now. I want to retire. I'm 60 next month, so it gets tired on your legs. And throwing these bags in and out all the time. So my back's a bit iffy and my arms are a bit iffy. So.
Well, did you miss it?
Well, no, because it's always here, eh? I can come sit on the beach any time, watch somebody else do it. And think, are I doing that properly? But that would be the problem, see, if you left him. But I'm hoping to finish this year, but whether they'll let me or not, a different matter.
As the evening draws to a close, it's time for the grand finale of Dave's Summer Spectacular.
A lot of families come down especially for this last 10-15 minutes. They'll stay away, but then they know how good the fireworks are, so we've got 11 minutes hopefully of that. And yeah, it's the end of a very long day, nearly the end of a long day.
So far, the event has been trouble-free, but PC Lewis has been called to a sudden emergency.
Can you all clear the street, please? There's an ambulance coming through. Clear the street. To go on the pavement, please, girls. Can you all clear onto the pavement?
14-year-old intoxicated female, fallen over a bit. Someone collapsed.
Somebody's collapsed with alcohol. So no assaults, no assaults. But looking back now, we can see the state that some of the youngsters have got into. Whilst we thought everything was going well in it, they are secretly drinking and getting into states. Looking in at the back of the ambulance here, we can see the poor 14-year-old who is out for the count. Luckily, this has taken place slightly off main focus, which is helpful.
Go on, Ed, you know where you get it. Go on, Ed. You know, Ed, you know where you go. Ed, you know where you get it.
The noisy celebrations are a concern to horseman Steve Phillips. He's worried they may upset Mr. Ed and Major Tom.
Tonight is the fireworks down at the harbour, and because of that I'm in the stable a little bit later than normal, obviously just to make sure the horses are all right and don't get overly frightened. But I'll stay with them all the way through just to make sure they're okay and don't do themselves a mischief. It's only really 4 or 5 times in the summer it goes on, so it's not worth taking a chance really. And also the additional people it brings in to the town, it compensates, you know, it's well worth it from a business. I think all the businesses benefit. The town was packed today, which is great.
Dave and his round table colleagues have raised thousands of pounds for charity today. Now all he has to worry about is those fireworks going off with a bang and savouring the moment with his wife, Stephanie.
Please, 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 please. 1, 2. Here we go. Here we go. Ed hasn't moved from his hay net. He's very, very settled. I want to keep him at the door now. I don't want him moving about the stable until it's finished. Anyway, do I?
I can't be interested in the fireworks. I've got to be watching the crowd.
Brilliant, fantastic, well pleased.
I'm very proud of him, really, really proud of him. I can't believe he can do this, but he can't do the washing up at
home. Next time on Tenby 24/7, brothers Jonathan and Matthew make some heavenly chocolate on Caldy Island.
The monks actually made it, but if you go away and you pray for an hour and you come back, the chocolate can be ruined.
Underload in this one.
Dye the Boot is on the money at the Sea Bass Festival.
Right, we start at 10. Give me 10 anywhere. 20.
And the Tenby RNLI are busy saving lives at sea.
And there's more from Tenby 24/7 here on BBC HD at the same time tomorrow.